Welcome to the Rising Entrepreneurs Podcast, where we feature top founders and entrepreneurs and their journey. Now, let's get started with the show. Chad Franzen here, co-host of this show, where we feature top entrepreneurs and business leaders sharing their stories. This episode is brought to you by EO San Francisco. The Entrepreneurs Organization EO is a global peer-to-peer network of more than 16,000 influential business owners with 198 chapters in 61 countries. If you are the founder, co-founder, owner, or controlling shareholder of a company generating over $1 million a year in revenues and want to connect with other like-minded successful entrepreneurs, EO is for you. The EO San Francisco chapter enables leading entrepreneurs in the Bay Area to learn, grow, and achieve greater success. The EOSF chapter was founded in 1991 and today has over 100 members in industries ranging from marketing to agriculture to tech and professional services. To learn how it works or to come do a test drive, join them at eonetwork.org/San Francisco. This episode is part of our series profiling various board members of the EO San Francisco chapter and talking about what the board members do in their roles. John Corcoran is co-founder of Rise25 and is the marketing communications chair for EO San Francisco. He'll be talking about what the role entails and why he chose to get involved with the board. Hey, John, thanks for joining me today. How are you?
Glad to be here. Thank you.
Hey, tell me about when you first joined EO and how you got involved with the board.
Sure. Yeah. So I first joined in 2021. I'd been involved in the accelerator program before, which I'm a big fan of. It's a great program. And then we joined EO. The funny thing is, like, shortly right after I'd been involved with the board for the accelerator program, and shortly after I joined, they joke that you kind of get voluntold sometimes to join these things. And that's what happened with me. So someone said, "Hey, we'd love for you to be on a committee." And I was a committee of the board, but pretty soon I realized, there's not that much difference between being on a committee and being part of the board. I think it was just their easy way of kind of getting me involved. But I was glad that I did, because it really helped me learn more about the organization and really get to know some of the more heavily involved, active participants in the EO San Francisco community.
So for those who hear about the board but aren't really sure what's going on, why would anybody want to get involved with the board?
Yeah, it's a great question. Yeah, and a lot of people think, like, oh, I got my business that I'm running, I've got other responsibilities. A lot of people in EO, they participate in a forum, which keeps them busy also. I think the reason to do it, first of all, I've heard people say that being part of their board in their local chapter, some people have told me that they enjoy that even more than their forum, which is generally ranked as the thing that people appreciate the most out of being a part of when they're part of EO. So I think that being a part of the board it allows you to give back. It allows you to meet, as I said, the more active participants. It allows you to practice leadership. It allows you to learn some best practices that you see in other businesses and other chapters that you can bring back to your business. It allows you to sharpen your saw and get better at different skills that maybe you want to work on, which again, you can bring back to your business. So there's a number of different ways in which you can personally benefit from it, in addition to just the fact that you're giving back and becoming a more active participant in a community that is a really great, engaged, active, wonderful community of really giving entrepreneurs.
So as I mentioned, you are the chair of marketing and communications. What do you do in that role?
Yeah, so at its core, it's getting the word out about things that the chapter's up to. So it's primarily communicating about events that are happening. These days you communicate across multiple different channels. So we're communicating across Slack and email and WhatsApp and all these kind of different forms of communicating, text messages, things like that. When I joined, I found that they were already doing a really good job of that. They had a real good system in place that people had put in before me. And so I started doing podcasts because that was my background. And I found that was a great way that we could bring new voices in and share their stories. And also take, one of the big objectives for the chapter was to become a bigger part of the community. So to partner with other companies and organizations. And so I knew from my experience that the podcast could help to reach out, connect with other organizations, have a conversation with them on the podcast, and lead to other types of collaboration. So that's another purpose behind why I did that.
How much of your time is it taking? How time consuming is it?
It's not too bad. We have a once a month meeting of the board, which is only like an hour and a half. We have stuff throughout the month. Like I said, the systems and processes are already in place, so it's probably like at most 5 hours a month. I think maybe 3 to 5 or something like that, because so many systems are in place, and most of that is the podcast piece that I did. Every once in a while there's kind of bigger projects that come along, but it's not too time consuming.
What have you personally gotten out of it?
Well, one big one is just getting to know the other members of the chapter who I wouldn't be getting to know as well. So, there's our current president, Franca, last president, Rudy Mutter. We got an incoming president who's in my forum. But, if I was just participating in my forum, I'd be getting to know the people better. And then if I attended some events from time to time, I'd get to know people through that. But this is another group, smaller group, that I'm getting to know on a regular basis. And they've had a couple of retreats that I've attended, which have been great, all-day things where you get to know people. I attended the Global Leadership Conference, which was really cool. It was in Washington, D.C., and I met some really interesting EO members from around the globe and got some trainings there and heard some inspirational, speakers and things like that. And a lot of people say that they participate in their board solely so that they can go to the Global Leadership Conference because of the people that you meet there. So that was really actually a big value add for me, is like being able to participate in that community, being able to participate with the most active members of each individual chapter from all around the globe. And I really enjoyed the opportunity to do that.
Are these conferences and retreats only things you can do as a board member?
That one, there's some confusion around it because it's kind of like you can get in as a board member. I think you're pretty much guaranteed that you can get in as a board member, but then they open it up to other people as well. But depending on availability, this past year was a little bit weird in June of 2021 because we were just kind of coming out of COVID. That was kind of waning. They weren't sure what attendance was going to be like. But as a board member, you get kind of first dibs in order to participate in that conference. Oh, and I should also mention there's also other conferences. I think one's called the Regional Leadership Academy, which I've not participated in, but that is only for people who've served on their board. And now I've heard other people rave about that. I've not attended it yet, but I've heard people say that that's a really great opportunity to really up-level your skills, learn new skills, and then bring those things back to growing your company.
Is there anything else people should know about being on the board or the role?
Just that I personally believe you get out whatever you give into an organization. And I've gotten a lot out of being part of EO without even having been part of it for too long. And I meet a lot of EO members that haven't done these things yet, for various different reasons. The timing's not always right. But if the timing is right for you, if you have some space in your schedule, you're going to get a lot out of it if you can devote yourself to this type of role. So I'd say, go talk to other members of the board, some that or reach out to people and just inquire about it. And maybe there's something smaller you can do, kind of like me. I just started in a smaller capacity, and then you can move into the role later once you've kind of gotten a handle on it. But that's what I would say is like, if the timing is okay in your life, you're probably going to get enough out of it that it's going to be worth your time, and you're going to bring things back to your business that are going to be valuable for you.
How can people find out more information about EO San Francisco and specifically, joining the board?
Yeah, going to the website. So, eonetwork.org/San Francisco, you can learn about the chapter there. We also have a separate website, eosf.org, where you can check out more information as well. You can reach out to me, John@rise25.com, or connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay. Hey, sounds good. John, it's been great talking to you today. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Rising Entrepreneurs Podcast. This episode is powered by Rise25. Please subscribe and check out future episodes.